Man, we finna get into a topic of Jermaine Dupri, man. This little fuck. I don't like Jermaine Dupri, but we finna dive deep and see what the fuck he talking about.
Dupri freaks out after getting canceled for something he says he didn't do. And it feels like people are treating him unfairly. Before we get the video started,
unfairly?
This video is by Kalshi is a prediction market. This podcast brought a lot of chaos to his life because on the podcast, he talked about signing CrissCross, finding them when they were only kids.
Man, I heard some crazy things about Jermaine Dupri and this CrissCross shit. Like, man, look, his ass on some other shit, man. Try to tell you.
Talked about the amount of
mess up them little kids, man.
He made from them and the splits he had on certain records with them. Now, going into details and being that honest brought a lot of issues because when the clips went viral, people said that Jermaine Dupri took advantage of them. He robbed them. He finessed them. He was a predator. And they attached a lot of things. Nobody who, especially somebody who is in the record industry, who is still trying to sign artists and do music, you don't want those allegations on your name, bro. You don't want to be known as a Diddy. So literally, Jermaine Dupri was forced to turn on his camera and respond back to this clip that went viral.
Like, can you give us an example? You got a lot of them.
Yeah, you know, as far as like I'm 100% writer, right? So like, say for instance, like CrissCross' first album, or CrissCross all of the album, I wrote, but the first album, I wrote everything on the album and produced everything on the album. So therefore, you know, that's 100%. I like, therefore, I get 100% of every piece of the pie that's coming when it's publishing, right? So that's what I'm saying. So soon as CrissCross sold 2 million. It was $1 million at my door.
$1 million from the.
But they sold 2 million. They sold 2 million records in like 2 weeks.
From publishing, just from publishing, it was $1 million.
Yeah, it was $1 million already. Like because it's like they say it's in the pipe. They call it, like, you know what I mean. It's in the pipeline. So once you start selling records like that, the money, the people, everybody know the money is there. So then people just start showing up like, yo, I give you. You know what I mean? If you, let's do 50% of your publishing, we give you $1 million advance, That's what advances start, because they can see the money. But that's what I'm saying, like that's, and by the way, this is just what I'm saying. You make me want 100%. Nice and slow, 100%.
So, okay.
But you took all this shit though, Chad.
Everybody that you wrote for and produced for wasn't on your label. But the people that was on your label, if you own the label and you're getting the masters, and then you write the music and you get in the publishing, and then you produce the music. So you're getting all the money.
You don't get all the money.
Man, nigga, you getting all the fucking money. Stop lying. Stop fucking lying. You getting all the motherfucking money, man. He's lying, Chad. We see it.
But by the way, you get a significant amount of money.
A large.
But you get a significant. You get a large portion.
But you don't get all the money. But I'm saying at the same time, you know what's funny with me is that when I be hearing people talk about contracts and this, that, and the third, the contract states what you get. You know what I'm saying? The contract don't state you're gonna get jerked. The contract states exactly what you get. That's why you're supposed to give your contract to somebody and let them look over it, and then you give that contract back to the person.
Hey, I don't like this motherfucker, but he is right. You know what I'm saying? Have somebody to read over your shit, man. Don't read your own shit, because if I'm letting somebody read my shit on bro chat, I ain't going. You ain't giving me no 360 bill on my ass.
That you talking to, and it's supposed to say what you want from that person.
Well, what's your thoughts on that? Because I always feel like, for the most part, there's no such thing as a bad deal.
Get the fuck out of here. He say ain't no such thing as a bad deal. Bro, you know how many motherfucking rappers they got a bad deal?
Ain't no such thing as a bad deal. That's where you got to click on.
Right, like, come on now. Right,
but
exactly.
Now, there are certain, like, target words that we hear and they're triggers to us. Things like 100% publishing, because the average person don't even understand what publishing is, right? But when we hear you get 100%,
you get all that.
Like the artist ain't get a percent. You got everything.
And then he gonna lie to myself. Well, you know what I'm saying? We get a portion. No, you get a large amount. Talking about a portion, nigga. Fuck out of here.
And then they also use context clues they were kids, like they were like literal children.
Finessing
So
their
they
ass.
automatically assume, Jermaine Dupri is jerking these kids. He took advantage of them, right? He violated them, but he responded back
Literally.
to clear his name because he didn't like these allegations. And, and you don't ever want to be known as somebody who did bad business, right? Because that follows you. Look at Diddy right now.
Exactly.
If anybody wants to do business with Diddy right now, they're hiring 20 lawyers and they're having each lawyer check each sentence.
But shit, it's too late for Jermaine Dupri. Everybody already know what's going on with you, buddy. We already know. Yeah, you can't hide from us. We seen what you done did behind the scenes with them little kids. Yeah.
Like, people you was fine coning every detail of a Diddy contract if Diddy brings business to you because you don't trust Diddy due to his reputation. You don't want to be in that category. So he came on camera and he essentially said that we all got it wrong. That he didn't finesse them.
Lies.
And actually, if you want to look at it, according to him, from what he says, he got finessed, right?
What?
He ain't made as much money as he probably should have if he had his business anywhere.
And producing their first album and being 100% writer. The comments in this about this is crazy. I seen people saying I took advantage of the Chris's. I seen people saying I finessed them. I seen people calling me a predator. Man, I seen people say you should blame the parents for letting me do what I did to the Chris's. And the shit just keeps going on and on and on, right? I need all of you niggas that's saying all of this shit to come to the front of the congregation right now. We gonna unpack this right now.
What you gonna
just
do?
so y'all clear. I want y'all to hear me really, really good. There was a time in Atlanta when young kids didn't want to rap. There was a time in Atlanta when young kids didn't even have an idea that they could become rappers. There was a time in Atlanta when a young producer went to a mall and met two kids that weren't even a group. They was just two kids. I saw them and I said, yo, what y'all do? And the two kids told me nothing. And I keep saying two kids because I want y'all to understand, they was just two kids. They had no idea that they was a group. I decided y'all should be a group. They had never been to the studio. They had never had a thought to be a group. They never wanted to be a group. They weren't running around Atlanta with a demo tape trying to shop it. They was just in the mall being cool kids. And I'm sure in the world that we...
And wearing their shirts backwards, Chad. That's what they was doing too. They was, if you watch CrissCross, they had their shit on backwards and shit. Yeah.
we live in right now, it's hard for y'all to even imagine that this is what life was. But this is what life was in Atlanta. These two kids that told me they did nothing went from meeting me at Greenbrier Mall, telling me they did nothing, to becoming millionaires before their 15th and 16th birthday.
He starts off shaky. Now, I understand why he included the context of discovering them when
But one lost their life down the line too, though. And let's not forget that. Like, yeah.
they were not rapping, and he literally created and crafted what CrissCross is. I understand including that in the context of it and why it's important, but giving somebody an opportunity when they had nothing is not a license to essentially like F them over and take everything they got, right? It's not a license to be predatory. Giving an opportunity doesn't equal I'm going to take advantage of you. So he started off shaky, right? Because the explanation itself means nothing, but he kind of brings it all back together and actually saves himself when he brings up the fact that he could have very easily signed CrissCross to him, but he got them a record deal. And once he got them the record deal, he explained that the only money he made from CrissCross is through, like the publishing and his writing credits. Even though he discovered them, he didn't make no other money off of them outside of being their writer and producer.
Rough House signs CrissCross. Now, Rough House signs CrissCross. CrissCross is not signed to Jermaine Dupri's production company or Jermaine Dupri's record company, because Jermaine Dupri don't have no record company. Jermaine Dupri is a nobody. So it's no Social Death, and they're not signed to Social Death Productions. I get these guys a record deal with Rough House Records, and you know how much money I got from that record deal? Nothing. So CrissCross got paid before I even saw a dime. For anybody out there asking how much money did they make, they got paid in advance as artists, whatever their artist deal was. I don't even know what their deal was. I wasn't part of it. They got an artist deal. They got signed to a record company. They got paid. This was prior to me making any money off these guys. We go in the studio, we start writing, we do what we do. I make Jump, send Jump to Rough House, boom, everybody go crazy, put the song out. The song goes, I think, gold in a week. It was platinum the second week. It was double platinum in the third week or some shit like that. CrissCross started doing shows everywhere. Boom, shows everywhere. They blowing up, the box is going crazy, CrissCross. They start selling merchandise.
Right. Okay.
And CrissCross started making $1 million to damn near $2 million a week in just merchandise. You know how much money I got from that?
I mean, you ain't gonna talk about the part what you done did, though. You know what I'm saying? You gonna sit there and play like, yeah, I ain't do shit. You know what I'm saying? You lying. You some bitch, you lying, motherfucker, you lying.
Nothing. I still ain't got paid. Mind you, just listen, I still ain't got paid. The record's out, it's doing good. I'm feeling good because I know I got a hit. You know what I mean? The record's #1, but I ain't got no money like that. I'm not making that type of money. They doing shows. They're doing shows every day, every whatever. I'm not making I ain't getting no show money. They get bigger, they keep getting bigger, blah, blah, blah. You get more shows, they go on tour, they making more money, merchandise, they doing all kind of things. I'm not making nothing from any of that. So y'all, for the people out there that was in the back, y'all come to the front. You ask how much money did CrissCross actually make? I just told you they was making what I got, the little check I got from EMI. They was making that a week in merchandise. Are y'all paying attention? Are you hearing me? Y'all telling me that I took advantage of them because somebody came and gave me a $1 million check. $1 million.
Chat, you know what? He ain't take advantage of them. He ain't do none of that. You know, fuck out of here. He did that shit. We all know he took advantage of their ass. And we ain't buying by this shit, Jermaine Dupri. Hell no.
But I finessed them.
Yup.
And I did everything.
Hell yeah.
I did all of this shit.
Fucking monster.
With 2 niggas, little niggas, that told me they didn't do nothing. And they became millionaires before their 15th and 16th birthday.
Shit.
But I finessed them.
That's when you did something. Once they became millionaires, nigga, shit. Of course, they wasn't shit until you made them millionaires. That's when you start stealing.
Jermaine Dupri has been in this business for a very long time.
You know what's going on.
And he has dealt with, a good amount of artists, at least a good enough sample size to where we can look at those artists and see his routine.
Hey, Chad, didn't he fuck with Aaliyah too? Bro, he probably fucked. I think he fucked with Aaliyah too. Oh God, man.
Business practices, and for the most part, he don't really have allegations of effing people over. He don't really have allegations of stealing and robbing people like Diddy and Jay-Z and others. So because he don't have those allegations, you kind of have to give him the benefit of the doubt, right? Because he could have very easily had them signed to him and then had the label sign his label while they're still signed to him, and then he get all the advance money. So he could have very easily done any and everything he wanted to do, because when they signed to him, well, when he discovered them, he could have very easily signed them to, bro, these were kids who weren't rapping. He could have done anything.
Right.
And the fact that, he was charitable enough to kind of have them go ahead and have their own situation with the label and then just help out with the writing and the producing, and they really like tap into the 360. I feel like, like that's at least fair, right? He's making money off the music he written and produced. and he's not making money off of everything they've ever done. And I feel like that's fair. But y'all let me know in the comment section, what do you guys think, man? Do y'all believe?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of sketchy to me, you know, chat. That shit just kind of screams sketchy.